All right, we're on the second lesson for section 3.2, and we're going to still be graphing linear equations. Notice this equation is y equals -1/2 times x plus 3. And you'll notice that the numbers chosen are 0, -4, and 2. All of those work well with a -1/2 because that's going to mean that we're going to get numbers that are integers, and that makes them easier to graph. So we're going to substitute for x 0 on the first one. And you see what happens here, -1/2 times 0 is 0, so y equals 3. On the next one, y equals -1/2 times -4. I keep having that problem there. And that problem, okay. -4 plus 3. Now, on this one, we're simply saying, what is half of 4? Half of 4 is 2. Both of these are negative, so that means it's a positive 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5. And then on the last one, -1/2 times 2, that's what goes in for the x this time. And half of 2 is 1, that's going to be a -1, right? -1 plus 3. And so that gives me a 2. Now we'll know if we made a mistake when we get ready to graph, right? And I made a mistake by not putting a negative on the video before this one. All right, so there's 0, 3, -4, 5, and then we have 2. Let me get that one on there, 2, 2. I think it's when I press too long at one spot that I make that silly line. And then we are going to draw the line that connects all of these points. Let me try that one more time. Well, I hope just one more time. Could be more than one. All right, I'll make that my arrow. Oh, come off there. Okay, well. And there's another messy arrow. Okay, so it's good to put arrows on the ends of your lines because lines keep going on in both directions. Okay, so this is -x plus 5y equals 5. And we could leave it written this way, that's fine. And you know what I think I'll do this time is I'm going to put a 0 in for x, a 0 in for y, because that makes these pretty easy. And let's see, what do I want to put in for the x that would be nice? I'll wait a minute. I'm going to find the first two. All right, so that's negative 0 doesn't really exist, but that's just 0, plus 5y equals 5. So that part is gone because when we substitute 0, we don't, that part of us is going to be eliminated. All right, so we're going to divide by 5 to solve, and we see that y equals 1. So when x is 0, y is 1 in this case. On the next one, we're going to put the 0 in for y. And that eliminates that term. Divide both sides by -1, and we see that x equals -5. Okay, so I was thinking on this, let's see, if I put in a 5, yes, I'm going to put in a 5 for x, okay? And so when I put a 5 in for x, now I'm choosing this deliberately because I'm trying to make this to come out as nice numbers. So it's going to be a -5. Right, because once I substitute the negative on the outside makes that negative, plus 5y equals 5. To solve, I add 5 to both sides, then 5y equals 10, divide by 5, and we see that y is 2. So when x equals 5, y equals 2 in this case. Okay, so let's graph. We have a -5, 0, and 0, 1. I'm having a few problems here with this. 0, 1. And the last one is at 5, 2. And you can just look at the graph and see that these points do line up and they make a straight line. And then of course we draw the line. Sometimes students actually put the points on the graph and forget to put the line on there. So be sure when you're graphing to draw the line. And there we go. Okay, looks like I'm making lots of videos for this lesson. So I am going to stop now and then pick up again. So this will be the second video for this lesson.